I'm sorry, everybody. I can't do keto anymore. 'Cause my pussy smells. What's happening to our fucking journalism? I mean, really? Why? Why? Okay, maybe I get it. 'Cause we've been wiping our ass with you out there. You tried to convince us that saturated fat was bad. That didn't work out too well. You couldn't convince us that fruits and vegetables were good for us and that meat caused cancer. You kept publishing all of this bullshit article after bullshit article. You tried to convince us that our cholesterol was bad when it's pretty much normal and people with a high cholesterol live longer. I just, what the fuck? You know, this is the point where you pretty much can identify all the news sources to never fucking watch right now. And all you gotta do is just Google Keto Crotch. And every fucking news agency that pops up in your search parroting the same stupid article while running ads for fucking Weight Watchers in the process. You know, you might as well never read them. And then they wonder why they're laying off motherfuckers left and right. And if they're doing it for this, imagine what they're doing for elections, for important things. You know, not that diet's not important. But really, so now you're going to try and scare us by telling us that people are going to have that not so fresh smell coming from their fucking pussy. I can't anymore. Why is the world like this? Now, this highly scientifically researched articles that came out on all of these fucking platforms came from one of the best scientific nutritional fucking publications on the whole internet. Reddit. I mean, is that what we're reaching for now in journalism? We're going to Reddit and somebody on there apparently, I don't know, I haven't personally went looking for this story, and nor will I, but somebody on Reddit apparently had some not so fresh vaginal smells and probably associated it with keto because maybe they just started keto. I've seen that before. Oh, I fucking am in the hospital for this and I just went on keto, so it must be keto. You know, that wonderful conclusion. We've run into that in the past. I'm surprised the media didn't fucking take stuff like that to attack us with. You know, turns out keto wasn't the cause of any of these problems that people were having. And now somebody has a yeast infection or, you know, their vaginal pH is off or something and they, you know, don't smell pretty. And, oh, well, it must be because I'm on keto, because this didn't happen when I was on the standard American diet. So apparently, if you want a nice smelling crotch, you should be on the standard American diet. Or isn't that what you're kind of saying? Or maybe they're saying, well, maybe if you use Weight Watchers, your crotch will smell fucking minty fresh and shit. Are we this dumb now? Is this what our society has come to? it's a sad day. It really is. It's the day where you can no longer trust any of these fucking journalists. The Post posted this shit. You know? It is on all kinds of fucking websites, in magazines, and some of them respected, some of them never respected, but still. It spread like wildfire. Almost as if it was paid advertising. Hold on, I gotta settle down with my tinfoil hat bullshit, right? Listen, these organizations' bills are paid by advertisers. There's currently a little bit of a backlash from like Weight Watchers and some of these other nutrition and health, organizations against keto. Not to mention the plant-based motherfuckers are all up in arms against keto, and there's a big corporate backlash. And guess who pays the bills of these organizations? But I believe once they show you their integrity, their journalistic integrity has declined so much that they're sourcing people in Reddit without any doctor consultation or really finding people who actually have proof that this is associated. No, they just ran with the headline. Why? Because keto's popular. And you'll click it. Every one of you motherfuckers saw this fucking headline somewhere, because 90% of you have that asshole friend that sends you every negative article about keto they can to somehow justify their fucked up, diet in some way. We all got that friend. So I know almost everybody watching this probably has been exposed to one of these articles through social media, unless you're just not on social media. So much so that like Nina Teicholz even commented on it. So it's funny. And the thing is it's scaring some people who don't know any better. You know how hard it is to get somebody to go keto? I mean, it's not an easy thing. And then when you got every fucking major news outlet saying that your pussy's going to smell if you go keto, well, guess what? That's going to turn some people away. Somebody who might have diabetes, who could get off their diabetes medication. Someone who might be obese, who could lose a lot of weight and get healthy again. And you're going to make money, you're going to smear it with somebody's vagina on fucking Reddit didn't fucking smell pretty. So let's run all kinds of articles and bullshit. This is horseshit. It really is. It really is pissed me off that the balls to be so blatant with fake news. I mean, this is the fakest fucking news I've ever seen. In all my years of doing this keto shit on this channel, I have never had one person complain of a smelly anything other than breath. And yes, you do get some keto breath. Tends to go away once you are fat adapted and become more efficient. Nothing that some mouthwash or some fucking toothbrush can't fucking handle, by the way. But, yeah, you can have a little bit of a keto breath. Small price to pay to not fucking die. And who's to say that's not how our breath is normally supposed to smell as a human fucking being, instead of like minty, fresh, whatever the hell you rinse the inside of your mouth out with. There's that. It's ridiculous. I am mystified. How can we have any faith in our propaganda? Because that's all we're getting out of the media now. Propaganda, clickbait, and triggered wokeness. I don't want any of that. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this culture war that's going on. I'm sick of all of the bullshit that's coming from mainstream media. All because it's very profitable to trigger people and piss people off and fearmonger. And it was always a little bad as I was growing up, the way the news was. I'm not saying that we've cornered the market on fake news. I think it's been around a long time and we've just become more aware of it because, quite frankly, journalists are being fucking stupid. Plain dumb about their articles nowadays. That so much so that the average motherfucker can go Google and debunk most of this shit. You can't even do the basic level of research so that you can't be debunked by some dickhead in like 10 minutes of sitting in front of the fucking search engine? Really? And, now you're running these articles and you're begging for us to subscribe to your publications in order to read the whole story and all of this other shit while peppering ads all over your shit. And you expect us to pay you money to give us bullshit? People don't want to pay for bullshit. Turns out bullshit's free. You can get bullshit all over the place. You don't need to pay for bullshit. I don't know. So I guess my answer to the Keto Crotch thing, because I'm not a woman, I can't say that it's been my experience or not my experience. I know that anecdotally the evidence does not support it because, trust me, I'd have heard it by now. Not to mention all of the other keto advocates that have spoken on this issue say the same thing. Dr. Ken Berry said some stuff. There's Primal Edge Health said some shit. I mean, there's no keto crotch, all right? Not every health problem can be associated with nutrition. Although, I do think a standard American diet probably does. Is there standard American diet crotch? Because I'm willing to bet that there's a great many people eating either a plant-based or a standard American processed food diet that have all kinds of inflammation, that have poor pH balance, that have gut health issues, which translate into some bad gut bacteria, which could end up giving you a not so fresh feeling, or fungus, or all this other problems, candida, that kind of stuff. I'm willing to bet that no matter what diet you're on, this can happen. It's not an isolated thing. There's any number of things that can cause you not to smell so pretty. It can happen to dudes too. I'm sure, we got parts that don't smell pretty. Just depends on your bacteria profile. Believe it or not, you get the little motherfuckers all over your skin, all up in everything. And I think that's the biggest contributor to odor, along with fungus. So, it is what it is. If you want to believe all of these news outlets and quit your healthy diet that is helping you, that you're getting excellent results from, all because all the fake news, all because these fake news outlets are trying to make a dime, and they're going to scare people who otherwise, who are just, there is a certain kind of person that goes on the keto diet that is just looking for it to fail because they want to eat those addictive foods. People, when they first start out on a ketogenic diet, are very vulnerable to that food addiction. And they'll look for any reason to say, fuck this diet. Nope. Nope, didn't work for me. I was talking to somebody I had just met not too long ago about nutrition, because it's a pretty big part of my life. It's the diet I'm on, plus I obviously advocate for it, and I do a lot of research on it. And I mentioned that I was keto, and this person was like, I hate keto. And then was going on and on and on about how they wanted bread, and they couldn't live without the bread. Meanwhile, this person's health was questionable. And, it's hard to get people to give up these addictions and just telling them normally to be keto. That's why I wonder why there's this huge campaign, because it's difficult. I know that the popularity of the keto diet is cutting into some wallets now. Weight Watchers took a hit, so much so I don't know if it was Oprah that spoke up about it, but there's been statements made about Weight Watchers and keto lately. And, people in these hamster wheel fucking business model for health, weight loss, and fitness are not going to dig the diet because it'll take away their customers. If you go on keto and you get healthy and you lose weight, you don't need to be on Weight Watchers. You don't even need to go to the fucking gym. So that's why a lot of personal trainers hate it. You don't need to do any of these things that they're telling you to do to get results with keto. All you need to do is not eat fucking bread and grain and refined carbs and sugar and keep your carbs way down and your fat up. You're not going to be hungry anymore. If you're on Weight Watchers, you're going to be starving. Starving. Hungry all the time. Guaranteed. And it's ridiculous that we've defeated their misinformation so much that they're reaching into the bowels of the internet to come up with a fucking argument against keto. They've given up on giving you the epidemiology, the studies. No, we're just going to read some forums on fucking Reddit. And then we're going to run an article. I do believe Women's Health. I don't know how the hell that magazine gets away having that title. But Women's Health, I believe, was the first to publish the article, and then all these other news organizations ran with it. With some just stupid fucking titles and thumbnails and clickbait bullshit. Pictures of crotches, pictures of meat that looks like crotches. It's fucking horrible, really. That it shows how far our journalism has fallen. People come into my comments every once in a while and bitch that I fucking swear. Like this last video, they're like, I couldn't get through the first 10 seconds because you were saying, fuck, you're ugly, you swear, you're a piece of shit. Well, that's fine. Don't listen to me. Turns out Women's Health has a nice politically correct, very accurate way of presenting its information now, huh? Does really good research. Good job, Women's Health. Take care of women's health, just like the title of your fucking publication. I'm sure you're covering all the really important women's health issues today. I hope your magazine goes really far, even though I don't even think you do print anymore. I think you're all on the internet now because print's pretty much dead. Welcome to the internet, though, where we're not as dumb as you think we are. Just saying. Maybe you might want to do a little more homework. You see, when I put something on this channel, if I don't do my homework, there is almost immediately somebody who's going to say, you're wrong, dickhead. And if I'm really wrong, then a lot of people are going to say, you're wrong, dickhead. And right now everyone is saying the Keto Crotch thing, you're wrong, dickhead. And that's what, if you can't even hold yourself to a standard to where you can at least get through that part of the internet that's going to double check your information, then you shouldn't be publishing articles in the first place, especially if you're a fucking news organization. Do we even have any of those anymore? I don't know. I do know that I have zero trust in mainstream media at this point. There was a little bit there. I kept hoping that I could find one of these companies, regardless of if they were lefties or righties, that would try and provide me some unbiased shit. I can't even get that from the local news. Turns out they run this biased shit just as much. And it's sad. So if you want to stay informed, just keep doing what you've been doing. And that's do your homework, do your research. Do not rely on these journalists to do your research for you, because pretty much they suck. All right? You know, read studies. If you see a news article that says blah, 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 keto diet sucks, go find out where they got their information and read it yourself. Because essentially that journalist just did that. There's a lot of that going on YouTube too, in the YouTube sphere. Like there's some people I follow. I'm not going to name names because I don't want to start a shit talking fest. But their channel is nothing more than legit just reading articles. I've done it a little bit too, but you know me, I can't get through fucking a minute of an article before I just start going off, and or when I go through a video or a news reel or whatever on any of my outlets or my podcast, I just start talking and I go off on these tangents that sometimes last like a half hour just to get through 3 minutes of an article or video. But I see a lot of, where they kind of do that, but they read you the whole fucking article from news. I'm like, it's great that you're reading this to me, and that's useful in a way when I don't want to read this shit myself. But, I don't know, maybe just kind of just cite a snippet and then go off with your opinion, unless you're actually the one that did the research and found certain things and point out that research. But I see a lot of news reader channels springing up lately. And then, which is fine, I guess. But that you're essentially doing the same thing that a lot of these shitty news organizations are doing, and that's they're not doing research. First of all, the one person will do something like go to Reddit and read about Keto Crotch and then post their article, and then all these other lazy-ass journalists will fucking grab that and write up their own version of it. And maybe give credit to the publication that broke the story. It's lazy. It's bullshit. Our journalism needs to change. Otherwise, it's going to go away. And I'd hate to say it. These media companies are on their way out. Advertiser-funded news is going to die. It's going to die out. There's no way that people are ever going to trust these organizations who are spoon-feeding you what corporations want to sell you, or what pharmaceutical industries want you to do for your health. They're not telling you what's best for you. There's no instance of where somebody said, I watched this on the news and they had a better life afterwards. I don't know. Have you ever had one of those moments where you read an article or you watched something on the news and it changed your life in a positive way? I can't think of any. Let me know in the comments. Maybe you had a life-altering experience based on something that happened in modern news. I would argue there's some things that happened, events that probably changed your life that ironically the news media covered. But as far as advice that you get from news outlets or opinions that you seem to get, or even lately just the cherry-picked stories that they tell you to try and sway you and control you and to make you do what they and their people who fund them want you to do, And right now, that isn't keto. Every once in a while you see a motherfucker promoting a book or whatever manages to get on one of these programs. I don't know if there's a dollar exchange for that to happen, and that's about the only time I see positive vibes about the ketogenic diet, usually. Not too long ago, I think it was CBS, their morning show came out in favor of keto in response to Jillian Michaels. So there's that. So I don't, there's hope that there's some good journalists mixed in with all of this fucking shitty journalism going on. But until we can address the integrity of modern journalism, it's pretty much we're going to have to listen to people on the fucking internet who do their research, do their homework, show results, can prove their stories, instead of people that are just trying to manipulate everybody to do something. And, that is what it is. Be a free thinker. Form your own opinions. I don't think there's a big problem with that with my subscribers. You all seem very intelligent. You seem very well researched. There's things you've taught me over the years, and I appreciate that. There's questions you've asked me that have sent me down entirely new rabbit holes of theories, thoughts, and things to try going forward. And I appreciate that. A lot of you wanted me to do this exercise shit over the years, and I kept taking a shit on it because I didn't want to do it. And I still don't like doing it. But I know I have to do it for some of the things that I want to prepare to do. And that's getting out on the trail, a little more difficult trails, maybe some mountains this year. And I know I need to be in shape for that. I can't just sit in the chair and edit all fucking day and then go out on a fucking 14-mile multi-day hike and expect to not die. I understand what I need to do. And a lot of you have pushed me and kept me accountable and really, with the drinking thing that I struggled with, you guys, believe it or not, I paid attention to those of you who were telling me about your struggles with alcohol, and and I just wanted to try, and my own pride wanted me to try to be moderate. I just couldn't accept the fact that I didn't have the willpower for moderation. And you guys told me that I would fail, and I did at it. And I respect that. And then, there's not a lot of that going on with the media, though. I have not found any of their bullshit useful. So I'm going to go wash my balls now because I'm pretty sure I'm in ketosis. Plus I'm carnivore, so I probably got extra fucking protein-filled balls that make them smell that much worse. So take care of your crotch, even if you're on keto, because you never know when something might be not so fresh. I can't believe this fucking shit. Thank you for some more clickbait, mainstream media. I gotta appreciate it. Wow. Alright, let's see what other fucked up shit that they do to attack keto. It's like these videos make themselves now. I don't even need to research what to make a video about. I just gotta go on to fucking, social media and find out what the latest triggered news is from fucking mainstream media, and I can just talk about that. I should just make videos like that all the time, going through shit article after shit article and explaining why it's shit. And I think even if I did that, it still wouldn't, stop people from believing their bullshit. So, it is what it is. Keep in mind, I'm not a fucking expert, and neither are any of these journalists at all. Both they and I are just fucking assholes. Some more than others. So, do your homework. Double check your research. Check your sources, too. Don't just read an article and be like, I saw in this article, it's bad. No. Don't just do that. Check the sources for the article, if that's even possible. And if you can't check the sources, then you have to assume that that's bullshit. Because believe me, if they had a good, strong, solid source, they'd fucking tell you about it. And if not, then you just wait till they do before you come to a conclusion like keto causes crotch rot, makes you unclean and shit. There's a lot of other things that can make you unclean. I don't think keto's one of them, no. If you found this video enlightening, or if we made your crotch smell minty fresh because you remained keto, please head to ScottTheTruckDriver.com and leave a fucking tip in the virtual tip jar to help me keep this shit going. Also, every week I have a podcast. This week, you can catch the podcast live here on the Scott the Truck Driver channel on YouTube, but the other 3 weeks you can purchase for $5 a download on ScottTheTruckDriver.com. And for those of you who have been supporting that podcast, I appreciate it. And it has been going strong since I started it, so I'm happy to continue to produce those podcasts on a regular basis, which consist of 2 hours of me going off on whatever the hell I'm triggered about that day. You know, usually. But usually ends up being pretty good, I think. You know, if you like talking head shit anyway. Also, I have another channel, Scott the Photographer, where I'm kind of going through some of my photography, video stuff, you know, teaching a little bit, sharing a little bit, going over how I became a photographer. I just posted a video about that and maybe how you can get started if you are brand new to it. But I plan a lot for that channel because it's a big part of my life, the creative side of things, and I want to share different ways of being creative and perhaps making a living doing so. And going on adventures and doing all of that and exploring is all going to be part of that channel. There'll still be hikes and wilderness fasts on this channel, but a lot of stuff I do that's more adventure-y will go over there. So there's that. Please like and subscribe while you're over there. And thank you for those of you who have already gone over. And I know it's a little slow for me to get the second video out. But there's a second video while you're watching this. It's not the greatest. I wasn't happy with that video, but I put it out anyway because I did finish it. Spent a good 4 hours putting that video together. Yeah. I need to evaluate my life sometimes. Maybe I just need to go on Reddit and read about fucking crotches and shit instead of doing research and all this other bullshit. I'm just gonna go to fucking Reddit from now on to learn all my ketogenic bullshit, motherfuckers.